with you. Good evening. So, I want to talk briefly about the Uvalde shooting in Texas at the elementary school. I think it's called Robb Elementary School. And gun control. Okay. So, I have a question to ask the gun control people. It's a very simple question. I just want to ask them, how was the gunman stopped? Okay? How was he stopped? How was he stopped? You know, it's a funny thing, you know, the people who are talking about gun control, what they are saying is this: only the police and the military must have guns. That's what they're saying, you know. They want to disarm the populace, right? That's what they're saying. You know, don't get me wrong, you know, I mean, I'm not, you know, cheapening, or I'm not insensitive towards what happened. You know, this young man took a gun into a very high-powered gun, you know, a rifle, into elementary school, right? And killed 19 kids and 2 teachers. Okay? Evil person, no doubt. Okay? And, you know, yes, he did buy the guns legally. He went and bought the guns and committed this crime. Alright? But I'm going down the avenue of common sense here. Just common sense. Like, you know, there are many 18-year-olds who have guns. Right? Yes, it just takes one to be a sociopath, you know, to do something that stupid. And as we can see, the damage that can be done. But let's be rational here and have common sense here. In order for him to have done what he did, many things were breached. Let's talk about a couple of things that were breached. First, the teacher, someone left the door open by you know, as I said, propping the door. They put a stone by the door, the back door. First mistake. Second thing, there's a resource officer who was armed, who was not on the campus, left the campus. To do what? We don't know. Right? Those are the 2 big mistakes that were made. So they had things in place to prevent this kind of incident. It just so happened that this gunman, who, yes, went and bought this gun legally, went and, you know, so happened that on this day he went there, everything was, you know, that was, you know, should stop him, was wide open. Okay? And, you know, I understand the gun control people. They're saying, you know, well, if he wasn't able to get that, you know, those guns, he couldn't have so effectively, because, you know, a gun is an effective killing machine. He wouldn't have effectively, you know, killed 19 kids. You know, let's say he went in there with a knife. He probably couldn't have killed 19 you know, kids. He probably couldn't have. A gun is a distance weapon. You can stand at a distance and shoot somebody and kill somebody. You can stand at a distance and kill somebody. A knife is a contact weapon. You have to get up close. You know, you can throw it, yes, but I mean, it's a contact weapon. Pepper spray is a distance weapon. You stand at a distance and spray, right? So a gun is a very effective killing machine, right? That's why the police have them, because they can be at a safe distance and do harm or stop a threat. You know, sometimes they do harm to the police. Yeah. So there's the gun control people are saying, you know, people should not be allowed to have this kind of power, this kind of killing machine where they can just, you know, stand at a distance and just effectively just kill people. Okay? But my question is, you know, the police came, how did they stop the gunman? They stopped him with a gun. No, the rational question is, no, you say that people should not be armed, okay? What if the teacher was armed? And in Texas, the teacher can be armed. In Texas, the teachers can be armed in Texas. Okay? The police is a human being, you know. They're human beings. They have like pleasures and dislike pleasures, you know. There was a resource officer that was not there because why? He probably had an errand to run which he shouldn't have ran, right? They're human beings, right? So if the police is a normal human being, why can't the teacher have a gun too? Why can't the teachers have guns? Right? Why disarm the teacher and wait and then say wait for the police to come? You gotta get on the phone. You have to call the police. Okay? Right? If the person had a knife, same thing, the person had a knife. You think the police is gonna come with a knife to stop the person with a knife? They're gonna come with a gun, right? But you say, okay, it's okay for the police to have a gun. Okay, so we are beyond that. An effective killing machine. You gotta get on the phone and call the police, right? Just like that resource officer, the police has to leave what they're doing and get in their cars, get the call, and go and respond. In that time alone, a person can do damage. It could, barricade the door. Remember, when the police came on the scene, as is found out later on, the gunman was barricaded inside the room with the children. If he had a knife or a machete, a little knife, he could still do damage. Yes, it's true, the gun is more effective, right? But my conclusion is that, to disarm, there are thousands of 18-year-olds that have guns, and one chooses to go and do evil. And it wasn't like the kids were just there like in public, for him to access them. There were mistakes made that led him to those kids, all right? So, yes, you can say he had an effective killing machine, and yes, you have a good argument where if he had a knife, more kids might have died. Less kids might have died, yes. All right? But, my conclusion is, when somebody want to do damage, they'll do damage. And you have to have the door closed. You have to have, the officer there with the gun. A good person with a gun. A good person with a gun. You call the police because they want the police to stop the threat. Why don't you stop the threat? Why don't you put yourself in a position to stop the threat yourself? Why are you going to get on the phone and call somebody else who is a human being who has like passions and unlike passions? Who knows what they're going through that day? I've actually heard police, testimonies of police that say, when you get a call in, they actually wait and let other policemen go and engage that. If it's a dangerous call, they wait. Police are human beings too. Because they have a uniform on and they're sworn officers don't mean that they're saints. They are far from saints. Matter of fact, they're even more corrupt than you and me because they have more power, and power corrupt. They have a license where they can shoot you and ask questions later. That makes a man very corrupt, and a woman too, by the way. We shall no business on the force anyway, but that's a different story. All right, I digress. Right? So why are police why do people have such faith in the police? You think the police is there? The police gets up every day and say, time to go protect people. No, they want to live. They have lives. They have, like I said, like passions just like you, unlike passions just like you. They have, they think about the future, their children, their wives, and I'm saying life, like, we think about life, insurance problems, health problems, all these things they think about. When you call them to say, hey, come on, and save me, right? You're calling a human being. Isn't it better for you to defend yourself? Why try and disarm people and leave arms in the police force's hands? When the police went to Uvalde, they stood in the hallway, and one officer, their commanding officer, said, wait, don't go in. And they waited. Human beings, they're flawed, right? Look at those issues. Those issues are actually worse than the person with the gun. The issues, the human factor, right, made the situation worse. The police are not saints. The police are not there to save you. The police cannot save you. It is your responsibility to save yourself. Put yourself in a position, right? Out there screaming about, people, about gun control, right? The police came with guns and stopped the threat. The gun stopped the threat. The same gun that you say killed those kids, God rest your souls, right? It's the same gun that stopped the gunman. Equal force. So why wait on the police? Why not, instead of screaming, and I'm saying, screaming, to disarm people? Why not arm yourself? Arm yourself. You're a good person. You're screaming, right? You're hurt, right? You won't do, you're sad, right? Arm yourself to defend yourself. Criminals don't care about gun control. Bad people, if you ban the guns, they want to kill, they're going to go and kill, right? But then you're going to call the police, right, to come and save you. I say, defend yourself, right? I say, defend yourself. I say we should have a culture, right? The Second Amendment, right? Have a culture where, you learn to go take the self-defense defense classes. Arm yourselves. Need a pen, a knife, something. Arm yourselves. Pepper spray. Arm yourself. And stop talking about calling the police. They're human beings too. Jesus Christ is Lord, don't you know? Hope you do.